Hi, Aries. This is your homework family reading for August, 15th through the 31st. Let me hit the bell. Sorry, you guys know the drill. Something about the bell. It's just got to be done. Okay, I feel like... Alright, some of you have been really kicking ass and taking names. And you feel pretty good about it. Because I feel like you're letting a lot of stuff off your shoulders. And I feel like in some cases you're opening up that heart chakra and kind of balancing it with the third eye and your throat chakra. Trying to really express yourself. And I do feel like I'm getting two separate directions here. Because I feel like some of you really have been on top of this and going in that direction. And then some of you, I don't know how else to say it, I feel some of you are straight up lying to yourself about it. Like, kind of like manifestation. Like you're manifesting that you've moved forward. You're manifesting that you've spoken your mind, that you've, stepped into your power. And in a sense, maybe a part of you has. But what I mean by I feel part of what I'm channeling for some of you feels like there's a heartache there, and the heartache is keeping you from truthfully believing the manifestation you're trying to create. And so, like, you're trying to send out that persona, but you don't fully believe it in some cases. I'm feeling in some cases, maybe it's just buried in denial for you. Because I'm being given not wanting to follow your intuition because of fear of failure. I'm being given inflexibility, stubborn. That kind of goes with Aries anyway. But the fact of thinking they know it all, so they're not willing to take the change. Wanting to do things at your pace and only at your pace, and thinking that you know it's right, and so therefore it has to be right, when the universe is saying, no, that's not the right way. You need to slow down and be willing to accept some help. Some of these areas is afraid of speaking your truth with authority into the masculine or material world, and having tension in it. You can't just desire what you want. You have to actually take action. You can't think about what you want. You must actually do it if you wish to experience it and seek it out. But I am being told this is definitely a communication of self-expression and self-truth within themselves. But I do feel that it is a growth into that third eye and the heart balancing. Reopening into love and trust and calmness and the ability to have the vision, the imagination to take yourself there. There is some grief and sorrow. Grief, sorrow, shame that you may be holding on to. And definitely feeling, in some cases, it's a rejection that might be causing a heartache. And feeling powerless because of that. But they're saying you need to have courage. And to allow yourself to realize you are bringing yourself, in many of these cases, for some of you, you're allowing the burden to keep you from moving forward. You are not perfect. You cannot be expected to be perfect. And you are not lacking in support. but you're still holding on to the opposition and the worry. Within grief over those relationship issues. And it's an ego issue that you're holding on to, and I feel like you think that you're getting past it. Some of you may really be past it. I do feel like I'm kind of in two different areas, because one feels very much like it's just been lifted off and and ready to go, and the other one feels like it's trying to do that, but it doesn't believe it. And I'm getting a very bad pain over here, not on my heart, which just makes me feel like it's from the heart, but I refuse to acknowledge that. So I'm pushing it over. And for me, the right side of the body happens to be ego. So this is ego keeping some of you from being able to move forward properly, is what I'm being given. At least for the ones that I'm connecting with. Anything else? Alright, let me give you what the moon, not the moon, what astrology, right off the bat, I pull up, from the 1st through the 15th. Again, this is for all Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Aries. I just said the 1st through the 15th, from the 15th through the 31st. But that's because I'm looking at my notes. On the 15th, you had the full moon. The full moon took place in Pisces, okay? So on that full moon energy, automatically, when the moon is in Pisces, we want to believe. We want to believe in whatever it is that's going on in our life. We want to believe in the people. We want to believe in the situation. We want to believe in the thing. We have compassion. We're a little bit extra loving, extra compassionate. And there's nothing wrong with that except for when we are doing it and we already freaking know better. Because that full moon in Pisces very much could have brought an illumination up, brought something to the surface, showing you something about yourself, of something that you know you need to change about yourself, because you may have possibly let somebody in who didn't deserve to get in, or did something with hope for a situation, and possibly you knew better than to believe in it, but there's a possibility that you're still hoping and had compassion and was wishful. And this just happens to go with that Neptune Pisces energy, that Neptune's Pisces magic, and it can be very confusing. And Pisces is when the moon is here, we easily get manipulated. Excuse me. This means there's negativities that are coming up, and most likely that full moon with Pisces brought some of those things to the surface for you to acknowledge, so that you need to make shifts and changes by acknowledging where those things could have taken place. Or it was just a compassionate energy and it was loving and is helping you move forward anyway. It's either showing you a trigger or giving you the right idea. But I'm definitely feeling heart energy in what happened, because it hasn't happened yet. But when that full moon comes, I'm feeling definitely heart chakra energy and heat. So this is bringing healing. Wow, there is bringing healing because of something that may have been negative that's brought to the surface, or a healing situation with healing waters was flowing through you, one form or another, because it's coming outwardly into the community, is what I'm being told. Okay, and you should have been expressing or feeling this during that full moon. Now, you have, which is for you, that universal 12th house. This is why I'm saying it could have been dealing with grief, sorrow, secrets, shame, blame, unconscious hidden selves, bad habits, self-undoing, self-deception, karmic debts. All of that happened in your universal 12th house. So there's a good chance that it was forcing a healing to come forward, even if you're not acknowledging it as a healing because it may not have felt good. Now, you have Mars, Venus, Sun, and Mercury all moving into Virgo, which is your universal 6th house this month. On the 18th, you have Mars moving in. On the 21st, you have Venus moving in. On the 22nd, you have the Sun moving in. And 29th, you have Mercury moving in. Plus, you'll have, I think it's a new moon on the 28th in Virgo as well. So all of these energies are coming out of Leo and moving into your 6th house. So it's coming out of that energy of your creative self, of understanding they're saying something to do with what you hear or what you're not hearing. Because what it is they're blocking my ears. I feel, and a lot of times mediums, as we come better into our energy, we don't always hear so well. But they're doing this to me on purpose. Like, I feel like I'm underwater and like I can't hear clearly. So this may be that you aren't hearing yourself or what's being said to you clearly. You're not listening, or you're not truthfully taking it in. Because what I was talking about was that pursuit of pleasure. And this is where my heart starts to hurt again. It feels like it's over here. Like the ego is trying to keep you from getting to that enjoyment of pleasure. Keep you from thinking, not that you deserve it, but keeping your inner child away from you. Keeping your inner child from surfacing, having the time to put into it. The 5th house is all about our creativity and how we express that. It is our pursuit of pleasure and how we find joy. What brings you joy? And we usually have to connect that back to our inner child to be open to get new experiences so that we can kind of let some of that adult bullshit fall. I mean, you have responsibilities, yes, but if you're not enjoying life, you're not expressing life and living it to the fullest, then you're just having responsibilities and you're out of balance and you're uncomfortable. And I feel like the ego is trying to tell you these are the things you have to do, which is keeping you from expressing them. And soul is saying no. And there's a reason for that, because Uranus is gone retrograde on the 11th in Taurus. And Spirit went all over this energy for me, because Uranus in Taurus is independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Okay? And it's moving closer to Aries, which happens to be Medusa, in your universal 1st house. Medusa is what I see as trouble, toil, strife, and injustice. And let me explain. Medusa is very close to the end of Aries. She's not out of there. She's not gonna get out of there. But as she gets closer to the end of a sign, I always say those planets start giving you the slap down, like the smack upside of the head, going, why aren't you listening to me over this or that it hasn't been able to communicate to you? And she's trouble, toil, strife, injustice, and she is just not wanting to let go of things in that universal 1st house of yourself, your awareness, your personality, your appearance, your view of life, your ID, and your very image. And she's wanting to hold on to those things, and she's pissed off, because that's who she is. I call her Medusa. And she's like staring you down going, this is where injustice has been, and I want the fucking justice, before she moves out. But Chiron's on the other end and in retrograde, going, well, sometimes we don't always get what we want. And Chiron is going, I need to start a new cycle, I need to start a brand new beginning. Because for one, I'm in Aries, which means I need to bring a lot of me first energy. But is this the me first energy I want to bring? Do I want to start a new cycle off of that trouble, toil, and strife? Or that injustice? Do I need to let some of these things go? Are they going to serve me if I hold on to it? And I feel like that's the ego that's keeping you from getting to what you truly would enjoy. And what you're going to find as Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury come out of Leo, which is that 5th house, and start to move into that 6th house. That energy is going to start speaking to that Medusa energy of the everyday mundane tasks, and where those self-expressions of enjoyment in life have not been served. And you're going to have to decide if you're going back and forth from ego or soul. And are you holding on to that Medusa inside of you that feels like an inner, what's the proper word? Your inner schizophrenic. Are you letting the inner schizophrenic get away with shit? Is what I feel like I'm being told. Because it's getting in the way of pursuit of pleasure by not allowing you to actually have it because it's too busy bitching. Are you holding on to things that are going to keep you from enjoying it? Are you holding on to the everyday mundane task that's kept you from experiencing it? Or the daily work, the diet, the health, the physical body in general? And are you going to be feeling that? Because you're going to have that new moon take place on the 28th in Virgo. Now here's the thing. On the 28th in Virgo, when all of these signs are now in here, you also have Othala. Why did I put that away? We have Othala coming into the astrology. And Othala in the astrology is going to sit there until the 9th of September. This is why it's important for you to get this right before that. Because, find Othala. For one, Othala is going to be being formed by the Sirius star in Cancer, which is going to be your universal 4th house, talking to your inner emotional security, the roots of who you are, your personal foundations, your upbringing, the true, real self that's inside, and karmic lessons and reincarnation. It is speaking with the North Node, which is telling you everything you need to learn to nurture yourself properly. And then the Sirius star, which is going to be speaking to you of God's consciousness, of the higher self of God's consciousness within you, of the enlightened teacher within you, and Thor's hammer. So it is definitely coming into this Othala energy, and Othala speaks to us of sacred space. And why can't I find it? It is sacred space. It is ancestral. It is prosperity. It is heritage. It is also the homeland. It is the world of nations, and it is earth. It is the very seeding. Okay? It is seeing the larger picture. I say all the time, this is just a picture on the wall, right? With a leaf in it. Why are you just looking at the picture on the wall with the leaf in it? Why aren't you looking at the whole wall? Now take that very idea and turn it around and go, why are you looking out the window instead of looking out the window? Or looking at the wall that allows you to see past where you are and where you could be going. Okay? They're saying, see the bigger picture and a structured or considered approach, a new structured and considered approach to how you will deal with things. Because Othala is speaking to us of the whole family, the society, the very nation. It is the ruin of sacred space. It is the burial mound. It is your inherited wealth, your inherited property, your inherited power. It is the nation of the community and the social unit and the family and the clan and the very tribe. It is the very social boundaries that create it. But Spirit is saying also you're going to be seeing this in partnerships within business as well. When I speak of Othala, I think of this is the home. The vessel has the soul in it. And the only way you lose pieces of the soul, you lose pieces of your power, pieces of your soulful wealth, peaceful of your prosperity. That is part of the power that created you as a soul to be who you are. The only way you lose that is because you accidentally tripped up and gave it away. And Othala is coming in, like I said, on the 28th, and it is forming until August 9th. And it's giving you the opportunity, if you didn't make it through the Lionsgate energy, to rise above and find that energy and go claim your power back. But in the astrology, it has some really twisted energy that's getting in the way. So this is why I say you need to be on top of this prior to this energy, so that when you come into this energy, it's projecting you in a positive way, not fighting to catch up. Now, give me a second. You have a Yod on the 17th, the 18th, 19th, 20, maybe it's going all the way through. I don't even bother to look at the astrology a lot of times until I pull it up. For the most part, you're having a Yod pop up, which shows us a new pathway, a new direction. And it is coming in for you from that universal 4th house going to your universal 12th house and up to Capricorn, which is that universal 10th house. This is the outer community and finding how to nurture it with new healthy healing of that unconscious self, from the unconscious hidden self, bringing the truth up out of you. Allowing your true self to find healing and to be yourself. Get past your grief, your sorrow, your secrets, your blame. And find ways to nurture the true self so that the outer community either takes you or leaves you. And when I say takes you or leaves you, I mean it in the sense of you're building yourself to be comfortable that if they don't take you for what you are, well, fuck them, basically. Is the way I see it. Because that 10th house is honor, reputation, prestige, professional life, career, financial success. It is the authority and the duty of the outside community and responsibilities of that social foundation that creates that honor and prestige. So this is saying, in order for you to truthfully get right with that outer community, that prestige, that honor, and that professional person that you wish to bring to your situation, to your life, this has to do with healing that universal 4th house. Like I said, it's coming right back down to that inner emotional security of being right with you, being true with you, being able to be courageous enough to bring you to the surface and not worry about it. But like I said, you're going to have Mars, Venus, Gemini, Mercury, which are still going to be in Leo until the 28th. And Mercury's still in retrograde, and it moved in, I think, on the 11th. It's flying through here. Okay, and in Leo this time around until it flips into shadow, from shadow into direct, and even with it being in direct, Leo is very much an abrupt energy. I mean, we're compassion. We are compassionate and we're loyal, but we also pretty much state our shit. We state our mind. I'm a Leo. We pretty much speak our mind, and with Mercury, with a little bit of shadow coming direct, coming into Leo, with the sun here, with Venus here, with Mars, Ura also, which is sacrifice and commitment, that universal 5th house, up until they all start to shift into those mundane tasks and your everyday activity is kind of going, that's the way I want it, and fuck you if you don't like it. Pretty much. That is the Mercury energy that's going to be coming in, and it's going to fly through here with serious power for a very short amount of time when it jumps into Virgo, like I said. And then it's going to take a different approach by being really, let me discover. Let me discover and let me organize this, because that's what it's going to be doing in that 6th house. But prior to that, that's the energy that I'm feeling for you. Now, like I said, most of this energy is, it's still going to be, your Cancer is still in opposition with Saturn, with, you know, setting that new foundation for that outer community, with making sure that it's got the proper people in it to back up that professional life that you want, your honor, your prestige, and the authority and the responsibilities, making sure it's set in a brand new foundation, a new healthy spiritual foundation with new boundaries to get yourself where you truly want to go. The only way you're not going where you want to go is because you're afraid to take the chance to go there. More or less. Like I said, and then I have Othala in here this whole time trying to give you a positive outlook here. But you will be seeing for quite a bit during that Othala energy. What the problem is going to be here is Neptune is not getting along with that Virgo energy. So, not Neptune, which is in your 12th house, isn't getting along with those mundane tasks. There's something going on within those mundane tasks that does not serve you, and you need to acknowledge how to change them, because it's speaking directly up to Jupiter and that universal 9th house of your higher self. So something is not triggering well with your ethics, your morals, your higher knowledge, law, learning, philosophy, religion, your psychic energy, your higher self. Something is not sitting well with a higher self, and it's being, you're lacking it. You're having neglect in supporting it within those mundane tasks, which is what's keeping you in that 12th house, more or less. And I'm seeing that all the way up through overcoming those situations right on through till the 9th of September. You just don't belong there. You're throwing off my head. I'm being called to these first, which usually I go after last, but for whatever reason, Aries, Spirit is saying you need to hear this first. These are like more of positive, conscious, spiritual, uplifting information, but for some reason, like I said, before I hit tarot or whatever, this is where Spirit's taking me first. What does Aries need to hear? Aries. I am following a path. I am following a path I love. And I am fully aligned to my soul purpose. This is what you need to be asking yourself. And if the answer is no, then you need to figure out what that path is so that you are listening to this. I am following a path I love, and I am fully aligned with my soul purpose. I am also being given, I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. More or less the same thing. Saying, I'm not allowing, told you it has to do with that Aries energy. Trouble, toil, strife will keep you in that ego that will keep you from raising to the vibration you need. I embrace my soul purpose, and I am aligning all aspects of my life to it fully. Is there anything else here? I take action daily that awakens my personal power. They're giving you steps to help you move forward. Let me see. I have a feeling I'm supposed to come back to that later too, so we'll see. Tell me what else is going on with Aries. Tell me what else is going on with Sun, Moon, Rising, Aries. Two of Cups. First thing that I'm feeling. This could be talking about coming back to yourself, but this could be a new love coming into your life, or just dealing with a love in your life. Yes, no. No. Whoa. That should be no, too. With the cards that these were, there are no, but there is for somebody out there, I'm saying it. This is the Nine of Swords, this is the Five of Cups, and this is the Nine of Pentacles, which is Nine of Discs. There's something about here where you've been beating yourself up in a relationship. And you've been beating yourself up, you're disappointed, and there's not going to be any gain in it, at least for whoever that was for. Because I feel like that was for a specific someone. Because now they're taking it in a whole nother direction. This is the Nine of Cups. This is more or less like the Wish card. This is fulfillment. This is Pisces. It is Jupiter. No. Pisces and Jupiter. So this is, getting your wishes. Being able to go after it. Do you believe in it? Because then I'm getting the Six of Swords, which is saying you learn through the experience of taking the very actions. You can have the wishes come true if you're willing to take the chance and learn through the experience. This is what they're saying right off the bat. Princess of Discs, which is the Princess of Pentacles. She is, Earth. She is Earth on Earth. She is birthing of those new ideas. She is the rebirth. She is transformation. She is both yin and yang. She is the yi tree. She is the ability to, birth again. And bring it into tangible reality, because this is a pentacle. She's able to set that new foundation, to build that happiness by taking that chance and bringing it into tangible reality. Will you do what you deeply already want to do? Or will you be afraid? What was I saying? Or will you be afraid of failure? Because this is Saturn telling you the only thing that's standing between you and what you want is breaking your own limited mindset, more or less. This is telling you you're dealing with fear factor and you're not getting the results you want because of that fear. The power is yours. You can have it. You must go get it. More or less. This is talking about bringing that power and that growth into stability and tangible reality. This is setting the foundation for you to build upon, working for what it is you want, but you must go after it. You must seek it. If you hope that it's going to happen, it's not. You do have the Hangman as well showing up. This is saying where you've been sitting there trying to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with the Hangman. The Hangman is trying to decide what is best and figure out the proper direction. It is the Fountain of Wisdom. But the problem is you've been sitting for so long that now you're beating yourself up, is what I'm being given in some of these cases, at least for some of these people, whoever it is I'm channeling. The Princess of Swords, she is extra emotional within her actions. She's about controversy. What was I saying? Medusa, and your energy of that first house, your self-awareness. If you keep believing that you have to hold on to what you have been dished out, what's been dished out to you in the past, and you have to abide by those rules, then you'll continue to. This is saying you're fighting inward and outward. You've been sitting in this energy for a long time. You have the wisdom to get yourself up and out of here. Do you believe in yourself? They're giving you the Star. And in this case, I know it's an Aquarius, but I feel like this is you. But is there anything in Aquarius for you? I don't think so. Yeah, Aquarius is empty right now. The only thing that's going on in that energy for you is you have Neptune and Lilith crossing over into a sextile into Saturn and Pluto. It's going straight across that energy, but it's nothing actually in Aquarius for you. But this is bringing that community into a brand new soulful spiritual reincarnation by setting the new rules to give you the star. The star reminds you, the way that I see it, it is in Hebrew for all intents and purposes, it's the righteous one, but it's the hook, like the fishing hook. If you cast your line out there to go fishing, you're not trying to get the smallest fish in the sea, right? You don't want the smallest fish in the sea, in the river, in the ocean. You cast your line out there because you want the big fish. Well, believe that you can go get the big fish. More or less, is what they're telling you. They're trying to help you, stop defeating yourself. It just keeps going over and over again. Get out of your fear of your own self-sabotage. And don't allow other people's communication to sabotage you either. This is disbelief or betrayal in a situation that's kept you from moving forward. Anything else, Aries? You've been wanting to talk for a while. Anything else? Very first thing, as soon as I pick up the deck. This is the Seven of Swords. You cannot move forward while you are looking backwards. Is there anything else? The world. The world can be yours. It can be the end of a cycle. It can be the beginning of a brand new infinity, a brand new blooming, and a brand new expanding. But this has to do with you coming into the self-realization to stop running forward and looking back. Aries. Medusa, like I said, this is know yourself and don't allow that trouble, toil, and strife to create all that pain all over again. Don't start the cycle again. Chiron is in that universal first house with you in retrograde. Do not start the cycle again. This is a time to change. This is a time to crack that heart chakra open and bring its balance to that third eye. Alright, now I'm back. I am guided by the cycles of life and live. I am guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. Where did we just go? Full circle into reminding you, do not start the cycle all over again. Again, I am guided by all cycles in life. I am guided by the cycles in life. And I live in complete harmony with them. This is letting the past go. This one? Yeah, it was. It's right back to the very beginning. I am following a path I love, and I am fully aligned with my soul's purpose. This is telling you, baby, just believe in yourself and let go of the bullshit that's kept you behind. I say this to one of my girlfriends all the time. If you are capable of rising, then why are you going to lower your vibration for someone who had the same opportunity to rise with you, but chose not to? Sometimes you got to let people stay behind because they're not ready to grow. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean that anything along that line. It means I'm not being held back because you're not ready. I journey within to meet my higher self and to find true happiness. I don't think that they could give you much more of a perfect reading of just telling you, get right with yourself. Listen to what it is you truly desire, you truly wish to be part of, and go after that, and then connect with it. It's silly. I say all the time, like, okay, like, I don't know. This is being given to me for some reason. Certain little things that don't seem like they matter. I love when it's summer and I get a tan. I love tan lines. But more importantly, I don't know what it is. I love when the palm of my foot shows that it's got the tan on the rest of the skin, because the palming of the foot doesn't tan. You know what? You can't really get a tan line if you don't take time to go out and enjoy the sun, or to go to the river, or go to the pool. And obviously, if I love to get tan and I love my tan lines, then I need to take time to do those things that I love so that I can make that happen. May not seem like a big deal, but in the long run, it is a big deal. If you're going after what you love, you will get what you want. But if you're afraid to, then you won't. It's that simple. I allow my body, my mind, and my spirit to flow intuitively through the changes of my life. This is all about coming into your intuition, into your true self, into faith in self, and overcoming self. Because you have Eris there that's just trying to make you stay third dimensional and keep you from moving forward. Will you give her the power? I love you guys. And I'll see you in September. Bye.